Remember the Spider-Verse portal I made last year? I believe that was my first time testing out mica powder. That portal was cute, but way too small as a prop. It won't work for my Across the Spider-Verse figures. Speaking of, last week I tried making Spider-Punk look more hand-drawn. It took a couple of tries to get it right. Check that video out if you're interested. And now that I have a handful of Spider-Verse figures, I thought it's time to put them into a proper display. But before I start, today's video is sponsored by Temu. Temu is an online marketplace that offers affordable products for all sorts of items. They have free shipping and free returns for up to 90 days. And they'll offer $5 credit for late delivery. When Temu reached out, I thought it was perfect because right now I'm in this very inspired phase and I want to try some new tools that I've never used before. There are a couple of things that I've always wanted to try but never got the chance to. So I went to the arts and crafts section and got the following items. The first thing I got is this set of markers. It comes with 36 colors. I also got these circular acrylic discs. I haven't figured out what to do with these yet, but I thought they would come in handy one day. Hole punches, a rotary cutter, it comes with 5 blades, and a laminator. I've wanted one for so long. The one I got comes with a few extra items. Some laminated pouches, a corner rounder, and a cutter. And finally, I also got some toner activated foils. Right now, Temu has a $100 coupon bundle. You can get the coupons for free by clicking on the link in the description box. Or you can search DKJ8759 on the Temu app to claim the coupon bundle. I'm going to use these tools in a bit. Let's build the display first. For the display, I decided not to make it full-sized. I'm going to keep it small. Okay, hear me out. This is my logic. In Across the Spider-Verse, the scenery is always changing, so it's going to be hard for me to create a full-sized diorama featuring one scene with these 4 characters. There's just too many unique locations to choose from. So instead, I'm gonna make 2 mini displays. I love making these because I can highlight specific characters and put the spotlight directly on them. And having the characters pop against the backgrounds rather than being engulfed by them. I hope that makes sense. It's kinda like being put on a poster rather than being put in a room. So, the obvious iconography of the movie is the hexagonal portal. So that'll be my main element for my display. And look at that. That looks so cool already. But this won't fit all my Spider-Verse figures. So I have this other one here but with a different art style. And I'm not done. You know me, I love 3D things. I can't do the portal and not make it pop. This time I'm not going to use shrink plastic. That previous attempt was too small. I want the portal to be the correct size this time. And more importantly, I want the portal to actually be suspended in the air by itself, with minimal obvious support pieces. Okay, look at that. I can already see that looking very epic. The easiest way to elevate the portal is by adding a stick or something right below it. But for those who've watched my videos since the beginning, you know that I try to find ways to hide the supporting pieces as much as possible. Or at the very least, try to blend them into the display somehow. I just find support stands quite distracting, even if they're clear. So for the portal, I'm not going to put a supporting structure right in the center. That means I'm going to need more than one support structure for it to become balanced and stable. I'm going to add them to the corners. Kind of. My goal is to make them look like they're a part of the zooming portal effect. There we go. Look at that. Okay, the support pieces aren't exactly hidden, but at least they look like they're part of the design. Before I add the figures, let's try the tools from Temu. Which one should I try first? Let's start with something simple. I want to make those cutout effects for Spider-Punk, and I'm going to use these markers. Let me rearrange them first so I can see them in more of a rainbow order. Okay, there we go. There's a nice range of colors here. Since the guitar is brown and blue, a yellow color should pop against it. just like it is in the reference image. And to make it, I'm going to use the plastic from the Spiderpunk packaging. I save most of these windows for instances like this. Another reason why I'm using this plastic instead of say paper or cardboard is because this would be much more durable. I want to be able to take it on and off and have it last. Besides, this is a good way to reuse the plastic. Alright, I just have to cut it roughly to the shape of the guitar. The best thing about this is that it doesn't need to be precise at all. Alright, I ended up cutting 2 notches for the strap. Look at that fit. Pretty good. Now to hold it in place, I'm going to use white tack, or office tack. This putty is not permanent and can be reused without leaving residue behind. So if I don't like the guitar effect years later, I can just pop it off. I'm not done. I also want that cutout effect behind Spiderpunk as well. This one is trickier because this will only work with one specific pose. So this is going to be the pose. A very simple pose that I can recreate easily. This pose also fits perfectly on the packaging window. I'm going to use the purple marker this time and scribble over the entire thing. I thought these markers would be more opaque, but they behave more like Sharpies. I'm going to cut out the front side, but I'm also going to leave the bottom piece attached, so it can balance itself. That said, I am going to cut out that bulge in the middle. Look, it stands by itself. Now I just gotta cut it to the shape of Spiderpunk's silhouette. Ta-da! That looks silly, but not when I put Spiderpunk in front of it. Ooh, that totally works for me. Very simple but effective. Now I wonder if these markers work on shrink plastic as well. So let me do some tests. I'm gonna draw a couple of portals and a couple of Spidermen to recreate the Spider Society. Okay, that one doesn't count. Let me try again. Oh my god, this is very embarrassing. I can do this. I can draw Spider-Man. Okay, I tried. A couple of these look fine. Let me cut them out and put them in the oven. Oh, hold on, let me test out the hole punch too. If this works, I can make little keychains or charms. Ta-da! The colors turned out vibrant, but some colors appear to be sheer. The hole punch worked well though. Alright, I'm gonna put these aside and add them to my display in a bit. But maybe not all of them, just some of them. Another thing I want to add to the display are the comic book effects, and I'm going to use the laminator for that. I don't know which ones to use yet, but I figured I should maximize space and laminate as many as possible in one go. Alright, the laminator is quite easy to use. There's only one button. Wait for it to warm up and then feed it through. Let's see if this works. Ooh, no issues there, nice. Before I cut the individual elements out, let me quickly test the corner rounder that it came with as well. Oh, this is even easier to use than I expected. The corners align themselves and has no issues with laminated paper. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let me cut out the individual comic book elements. Done. I'm gonna use these 4. But before I add these to the display, let me test one more thing with the laminator, using these toner activated foils. I've seen people on TikTok doing these really cool foil designs and I always wanted to try. The idea is to use a laser printer to print the design and then use the laminator to adhere the toner activated foil onto it. When done correctly, the foil should only stick to the printed area with the toner. But before I feed it into the laminator, I need to add a buffer between the roller and the foil. I assume this is to prevent the foil from damaging the rollers. Let's see if this works too. The moment of truth. Ooh, it worked! The foil is now on the design. I wonder if I should use the lighter color for the design though. I'm back. I went and printed the rest of the portal. Not sure if this is picking up on camera, but now the edges are shiny. I can't believe this worked. Okay, I have one final tool to test. The rotary blade. I swapped out the normal blade to this one with the little notches in it. The idea is to run this over the fold line so they become perforated and easier to fold. I normally score my paper with a dull blade, but I wonder if this is easier or more efficient. Okay, this works. The only minor thing is that the rotary blade can easily swerve to the side if I'm not paying attention. But I got it down after a few tries. Alright, this is what the portal looks like with the gold foil. The result isn't as nice as I thought, especially when compared to the one without the gold foil. Having the foil on the folded areas isn't the best idea. Oh well, I tried. I'll stick with the portal that doesn't have the foil. And maybe I can save the foil for an Eternals display. Anyway, let's add those comic book elements onto the displays. I'm first gonna stick this Meanwhile one up at the corner. And let's see. This purple thrip stands out on this background. So let me glue this directly onto the portal. Nope, I changed my mind. I don't want to permanently glue the sound effect onto the portal. Not everyone thrips, you know. So instead, I attach this bent paper clip onto the back of it, so I can insert it to the back of the portal. That way, I have the flexibility of having both options. And here's the Spider Society. Let me glue them onto the background. Ta-da! Now it looks like there are a bunch of Spider-Men coming through the portal. As for the other display, I attached the uh-oh onto the portal using the paper clips, and I added a little stand to this one. That way I can place this wherever depending on who's standing here. Okay, the displays are done. This was a long journey, but I love how these two displays turned out. The overall design is pretty simple. It's mostly just a portal on the background, but I think this works better at this scale. The portal feels bigger on a smaller background. I feel like the portal wouldn't feel as impactful if I made a full-size diorama. Besides, I'm not stuck with one singular background or feel like I have to include everyone. I can highlight just one single character if I want. So many options, so much fun. And yes, I did get the spot. I did say I wasn't gonna get any more Spider-Verse figures, but he was on sale, and I did also work on him. I want to continue practicing that 2D art style. The Spot style is unique. He looks more like a rough drawing or a sketch. And speaking of art styles, I only noticed this now that I have all these figures together. I also approached these characters with different styles. I didn't do that on purpose. I could have done these 5 the exact same way. But I'm glad I get to try out different methods. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It is a bit lengthy, but I felt really inspired and wanted to try out all these new tools. Are you interested in seeing how I did the spot? I did film it, but I didn't want to make this video too long. Maybe I'll put that out next. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to see more content like this. And as always, stay inspired and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you.